Ros, we're at Silverstone. Now, most people would know Silverstone as the race circuit. I've raced around here in my motorbike days, but why the Innovation Centre?
Well, the land around the track, so you've got the circuit, as you say, and we had the Grand Prix and other really global events here. And then the land around the track is owned by and being developed by MEPC. We're a property company. We're developing a science and technology park here. And the Innovation Centre is a key part of that because we want to encourage start-up companies, SMEs, high-tech companies to come and grow their business here.
Now, obviously, Hexagon is your partner here. Why Hexagon?
Well, what we wanted to do was put some facilities into the Innovation Centre that would be a key resource for the companies in the Silverstone Technology Cluster. And what we did was we thought, well, let's talk to the companies on the park already. There's 70 companies here already, precision engineer companies mainly. And we said to them, what sort of facilities do you think are needed? And they said, you don't need milling machines and lathes and things like that. There's loads of that. But one of the facilities that everybody needs and no one can really get their hands on are metrology facilities, coordinate measuring machines. And they started to explain that a few of them here have bits of old kit and they kind of lend it to each other. But it would be so great to have a state-of-the-art facility. And then I started thinking, well, if we could get something like that, yes, it would be good for the companies that are here already, but it would also be a key facility for the area.
Now, obviously, I know that precision engineers need to measure, what they're cutting for supply chain to whatever they're supplying to. Now, what other companies are you trying to attract here?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that we found when we first got involved. We bought the land around the track in 2013. We knew that it was a global brand in the central location in the country, so we're thinking, this is going to be a great place to develop some sort of technology business park like the ones that we've got elsewhere in the country. And then when you start talking to the companies, you realise that yes, they're excited about Formula One and they are proud of the work they do, with the sort of fast-paced nature and the demanding nature of the engineering work, but they are all involved in other sectors too, and that got us thinking, we need to provide facilities for companies that are not just working in Formula One and motorsport, but these guys are working in defence, aerospace, medical devices, and up-and-coming sectors too.
Well, it's very exciting for Hexagon, I'm sure, very exciting for you guys, and obviously there's a lot of technology transfer from motorsport, so we wish you well here.
Thank you very much.
Well, John, thanks for the invitation to come to Hexagon. This is the new facility at Silverstone. Could you tell me why Silverstone?
Yes, good morning and welcome to our new facility here at Silverstone Park. Why? It's a very good question. For Hexagon, we're a company that supplies products and services throughout the UK and the world for that matter. But Silverstone Park is slightly unique to us. This is a facility dedicated really to help SME businesses, start-up businesses. It's here to create a network to help these businesses. So the main activity within this facility is subcontract inspection.
And is there a pull for F1? Because I know Hexagon brand is very, very sharp with the Formula One and also motorsport to help those guys. Is it a bit of pull for Silverstone?
Yes and no, I suppose. Obviously, the address of this facility has a degree of kudos to it and is related heavily to the motorsport. Hexagon is heavily involved. The motorsport industry is worth something like 11 billion a year. We are very involved in that industry. We have partnerships with several F1 teams. We supply the F1 teams and their different tier suppliers. But it's also for any industry sector. We're not here purely for F1 for motorsport, although it's quite an important sector to us, but be it aerospace, white goods, yellow goods, educational, medical, whatever, this facility can service all those business sectors, not just the motorsport.
John, Milton Keynes, I've been there. You've got a fabulous facility for showing all your kit there. Now, this is aimed more for subcontracting and office service to smaller SMEs.
Yes, I mean, we have several facilities. We have obviously Milton Keynes, as you mentioned. We have Telford. We have a service centre in Chester, which are all geared around our core activity of providing products and services. The difference with this facility here, it's not a demo centre. It's not a service centre. It is built purely around supporting the start-up SME business sectors, and larger businesses are welcome as well, obviously. But it's built around working in partnership with MEPC, who own this facility, who are growing this site as it wants it to be a major high technology cluster for all manufacturing sectors, including the motorsport industry. And what we want to do here is support the startup businesses, support the SMEs. There are a lot of companies out there that require access to metrology, to first article inspection, quality control. They're small businesses, they have the demand to produce a quality product or service, but don't have access or the finance to get this sort of equipment that we can provide. So this centre is slightly unique in that we're giving them access through the metrology network to these facilities at a favourable rate, let's say. But also, by creating this network, we can bring these companies together to support each other as well through different network events, through training events, activities, guest speakers, and obviously we can help with providing this equipment whenever they need it, pretty much 24/7.
Because some of the smaller companies, they can't afford this kit, can they? And it gives them the opportunity for you to give them some substance in measuring techniques, etc.
Yes, it helps them as a business. You know, during these early times when they're starting up, they could be 1 man, they could be 10 men. They still have the same demands from a quality inspection as, say, Rolls-Royce aero engines. They still have the same requirements, but obviously they don't have the budget. And our equipment, you know, is a high quality product. It comes with a price, like any quality product these days. And yeah, in the early days, they can't necessarily afford that. So we're giving them access to that equipment. Now, in some cases, that can be them coming in and using the equipment if they have the skill set to do that, or we have a team of engineers that can support them, and we can provide that measurement service for them. But that's also applicable to larger companies as well. There are some companies where they have a capacity issue. They have a throughput issue, they have a skill issue. The motorsport industry, for example, is particularly F1. There are certain peak periods throughout the season where their manufacturing goes up and down. And so they may already have our equipment, you know, and have access to that, but they may need additional resource. So already some teams are saying, well, we'd like to use your facility at certain points during the year when we don't have the capacity or capability within our own business. So we can support those businesses as well.
Well, I can see the partnership with the Innovation Centre working very, very strong for Hexagon and for smaller companies as well. So we wish you well. Thanks very much for your time, John.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Terence, now you're part of the Silverstone Park Metrology Network. Could you tell me a little bit why you use this service from Hexagon?
Yes, we do mainly mechanical engineering design. We don't manufacture ourselves, we subcontract that. Many of our customers are manufacturers themselves, they need design capability. We certainly can't justify running such facilities like this ourselves. So being able to have access to this kit and the people that use it is just fantastic for us. Previously it's been a bit of a problem for us trying to find decent measurement metrology services.
So obviously being at Silverstone with the racetrack, and obviously now you've got the Innovation Centre to use with Hexagon, does that benefit your customers?
Yes, we can now, if we do a lot of reverse engineering, whether it's for special cars, one-off cars, race cars, or indeed reverse engineering, you know, parts from pre-war cars. It's been problematic in getting these parts measured, whether it's measurements like this or having proper scanning. To be able to have this in the same building that we are in is fantastic.
So a massive benefit for your company then, Terence?
Yes, and certainly for the customers, they get the turnaround is quicker, and if there are any problems or issues, we can just go down the stairs and we can be here asking questions.
Great, thanks very much, Terence.
Cheers.